Playing horseshoes increases your pawn's shooting skill, very slowly. Cowboy hats improve a pawn's social impact, primarily affecting their interactions with other colony pawns. Daylilies grow at only 30% light rather than the usual 51%. They provide beauty and can feed animals. Forcing a pawn to shoot at a sleeping spot or wall does not train their shooting skill, but it used to. If a stack of items is forbidden, pawns can still add items to it. Cleanliness affects research speed, giving good reason to use sterile tiles in your laboratory. Playing chess increases intellect. It's not really enough to level up, but it helps slow degradation. On that note, skills higher than level 10 lose XP over time and fall when not in use. Chairs in front of workstations give pawns comfort when using that workstation, boosting their mood. You can hold down the middle mouse button and move your mouse to move the camera around. The auto turret cannon is not centered on its range. Pawns move faster when they are in light. You can use the asterisk or multiplication symbol by the numpad on your keyboard or the button on the bottom left box that looks like arrows pointing down to switch between what is possible to select on the same tile space that you've clicked on. Holding Shift and clicking the name of the work type in the work menu changes its priority for all colonists. If you put something beautiful in the corner of a wall, like a statue or a golden wall, you can improve the beauty of all the rooms that use that corner without sacrificing space. You can check which items other factions are willing to buy from you on the world menu. If you replace both a prisoner's legs with peg legs, not only is it free medical practice, but if you release them and they try to raid you again, they'll be significantly slower because they keep those peg legs. Page up and page down on your keyboard zoom the camera out and in, respectively. If a pawn is unwaveringly loyal, which means they can't be recruited, enslaving them and then re-imprisoning them does not remove the unwaveringly loyal trait, but it used to. You can right-click an event envelope to dismiss it quickly without its pop-up. You cannot put human corpses on a shelf to avoid corpse-related debuffs as they are considered a large corpse, which a shelf cannot hold. But you used to be able to. An easy way to ban a pawn from a smallish area of the map is to create a zone that is that bad area and then invert it in the Manage Areas menu. You can reorder colonists in their spots at the top center of the screen by right-clicking and dragging them. Then you can grab all colonists or groups of colonists by left-click and dragging a selection of those same icons. When you have a group of colonists selected and drafted, say all your ranged fighters or melee fighters, you can right-click and drag where you want them to move to select different positioning styles. Giving pawns love enhancers and or having them marry high mates will give them very positive mood buffs from their sex lives, leading to them getting more frequent inspirations. If you have a pretty full freezer and are hunting big animals, you can just store the bodies in the freezer and forbid them. The colonists won't butcher them and they only take up 1 square, but their butchered meat would have taken up many squares. If a pawn is doing something like deconstructing or mining, but you only want them to do specific bits of wall or rock, hold the hotkey for the job, like L for mining, and click the bits you want them to deconstruct or mine. In the orders menu, you can right-click the allow or forbid buttons and use the option there to allow or forbid every item on the map. Different wall types have different durability. Marble is the only stone block wall type that adds beauty. Walls do not have different insulation values, but they used to. You can check hold fire on mortars and have colonists load them with shells. Then, the next time a threat shows up, uncheck hold fire and the mortar will fire immediately without any loading time. If a pawn is throwing a targeted tantrum to destroy an item, you can save that item by moving it or using it. If there is enough fire on the map for a long enough time, the game is programmed to change the weather to something with rain. This is negated by forced weather events, though. When boom rats and boomalopes die, they lose the bumpy bits on their back. If you have a pawn selected, the bottom left info box shows their current schedule. Don't forget, vents can be opened and closed. You can double-click someone in a raider group to show the weapons of everyone in that group. You can assign shelf contents and link shelves to other shelves before that shelf has even been built. You don't need to recruit pawns through the prisoner tab that you arrest for doing things like going into a murderous rage. If you release them instead, they will just instantly rejoin the colony with a mood debuff for having been imprisoned. Don't forget to assign night owls to their preferred sleeping hours. You can hover over the trait in their bio menu to see the preferred hours if you forget them. You can use the comma and period keys on your keyboard to switch between colony pawns. It will also keep open whichever menu you have open. The stomach is not a required organ to live, and it being missing only reduces a pawn's digestion to 50%. If you are in a tab with many checkboxes like the Wildlife tab, you can click on a checkbox, not release the mouse button, and drag down or up to check or uncheck multiple boxes. If liquor is included in their diet, animals can get addicted to booze just like your human pawns can.